Today, we are privileged to have with us one of Liberia's most profound online TV, Liberia, the focus on Liberia online TV, and a journalist who have worked with distinguished service in Liberia have come to hear our view on the performances of the President Joseph Boakai-led administration since following inauguration on January 22nd, 2024, to crisscross issues ranging from security, healthcare, education, the rule of law, sanitation, of course, issues affecting our country. At this time, we would like to officially, as a tradition, welcome our Journalist Theo Williams as a way of letting you know that the ground is secure. On behalf of the leadership, our chairman, Wari Olabo, we want to welcome you. And drink this, as you drink it, be free. So this honor our people. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, John. It's a pleasure and it's good to be here. I'm not a stranger here at Kuka Tunnel. I was here some time ago, and today I feel like I'm home. I'm acquainted with most of the comrades here, and so basically I'm here today again so that we can have this conversation on issues of national concern. There are too many issues in the country. You and I know that we'll have a new administration, and we just want to hear Liberians speak about the government. What do they think about what are some of their expectations are met as we speak, as far as the government is concerned? They are just a month and some days. So those are things basically we'll be assessing. We want to hear from you, the comrades. That's why I'm here. So welcome, viewers. Thanks for joining us. This is the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. My name is Theo Williams, and we are live and direct from the Kuka Tunnel Intellectual Center, just along the GSA Road. And you can see Kuka Tunnel. It says we are one, and the motto is facts and not rumor. So yes, the comrades are here. They are already seated. We have the exchange in the next 15-20 minutes, and so that you follow the interaction. So all we ask you to do is to share the video, invite others to come on, and let's have the interaction with the guys here at Kuka Tunnel. Once again, I'd love to say welcome. I'm welcomed officially by the guys. It's a tradition. It's how you come here, you have to get a glass of attai as part of the tradition. So yes, you can see the glass of attai in my hand. We'll begin the conversation very shortly. I just thought to set the basis for the conversation. So yes, there you have it. This is Focus on Liberia online television. We're live from GSO Road in Painesville, outside Monrovia. We've come again. This is the second in a series of interviews we want to do about the government performances and all like that. And so yes, the comments will come out one at a time, and we will have the engagement.
So, Amanda.
Wait.
Amanda.
Wait.
So we want to say thank you to Mr. Williams for coming here to gauge our views on President Boakai first month in office. So I will start off first by looking at the activities, the Unity Party and its alliance or alliances, and the campaign on a particular or policy called arrest. During the election campaign activities, there were issues that were highlighted that President Weah failed to alleviate poverty, the roadmap, and the achievement thus far in the 100-day deliverables. I will look at
the procedure in which the current president has taken in appointment. I will look at the economy, I will look at education, I will end up with health.
Okay, so we touch all of those. You have the time to speak, but we have specific questions we want to pose to you guys. Let me begin with the question, then you can tie into what you have.
Yeah, sure.
Well, President Boakai and the Unity Party ran on rescuing Liberia. The government has marked the first 1 month and some days. Do you feel or think the rescue mission is up to a good start? So far, so good as we speak? What do you think?
To that, I would say that the rescue mission has not, in fact, the rescue mission have lost its footing when it comes to embarking on what was said during the campaign. Now let's look at the rule of law.
All right.
It was said that President Weah has broken all the laws and rules of the country, nationally and internationally, and that the image of the country needed to be rebranded. But this is President Boakai's first month in power with two major programs, one sub-regional program by ECOWAS, and the other one has to do with the continent, which is AU.
Okay.
The president, instead of rebranding the country image internationally, he seconded that responsibility to a foreign minister, which is Madame Beslow, to go out there and rebrand the image of the country instead of having his first outside appearance. I think that in itself is not good for the country.
Okay.
And we should say what we said and do what we will do when it comes to campaigning. But again, during the campaign, President Boakai said something at 2FM. He said, when we run a campaign, some of the things we can say, when we are in power, we will not do it the way we say we will do it. So, that in itself is a contradiction to what he promised us. So, on that, I can clearly tell you that the president is not proceeding well.
What do you make of President Boakai's appointees and the pace at which the appointment is going? What do you think?
Thank you. You see, President Boakai's predecessor, but now had almost a full government. There has been a 1 month plus up to now. Instead of the president focusing on doing appropriate, legitimate appointments, the president is appointing people that he has no authority legally to do so. Example, NOCA. It is clear under the act that created NOCA that the president appoints the CEO or the president of NOCA, and the rest of the vice CEO or vice president for administration and operations are appointed by the president or CEO of NOCA. The president is appointing people in tenure position when he has no authority to do so. This is the same president who was vice president and president of the Senate that affixed his signature to the law that established those institutions. So coming now to undo illegally the same law he affixed his signature to is worrisome at this early stage. So we should not be surprised when Boakai starts to name or appoint even community chairmen. Boakai is going to appoint, if we are not careful, members of the legislature. He will still soon start to appoint representatives and senators if he's not brought to book. And this has to stop. Boakai was very clear. He said there will not be a green, blue citizen under his regime. But what I have observed, President Boakai is trying to please green citizens to the extent that he will undo the law only to have them in government, as if to say that the very private sector that he said he was going to revamp and strengthen, that all Liberians will go there to seek jobs, is being left undone and does nothing say about it. His entire focus is how to get his people in government, to the extent that his official of his party have to go to his residence to protest for governmental positions. That is wrong, and it is not a good start.
Okay, and so let's take a few more questions, then we hear from all the colleagues who are also in the queue. I'd like to know from you, before I leave you, Prince Johnson supported now President Boakai during the election, but now he's not happy. Mr. Johnson is not a happy man, because President Boakai is talking about the War Crimes Code. And quite recently you heard President Boakai with Alan White. What do you think? Do you think the War Crimes Code is important at this point in time?
Oh yes, the War Crimes Code has always been important. But I think what politicians of our country have been doing is to use the issue of the War Crimes Code during campaign, swayed Prince Johnson with his grip on the vote bridge Nima belt, getting on your side, gather the votes, and then the issue of the War Crimes Code become a secondary thing. Now we noticed that during Madam Salif's time, it was said from the TRC report and recommendations that the issue of the establishment of the War Crimes Code was taking effect, to the extent that there were recommendations set up that barred certain officials from participating in active politics for a number of years. That did not go down well, because it did not happen, because the president then, who had been hooked up in the process, so they swayed away from having the issue of War Crimes Code. So it happened under President Weah. President Weah campaigned vigorously on the issue of War and Economic Crime Code. When Senator Johnson pledged his support to President Weah, the issue of War Crimes Code went under the carpet. And then 2017, we came to witness the scene when President Weah could no longer have an agreement with the senator of Nima, Senator Johnson. Senator Johnson pledged his support directly to the United Party and its alliance. And then what happens? The issue of War Crimes Code that was high on the agenda of United Party could no longer be heard. So, being as it may, Senator Johnson is overly ambitious and afraid of the War and Economic Crime Code, as if to say that he's the only one that fought war in Liberia.
Do you see that happening on President Boakai?
I don't see it possible.
Okay.
I do not see it possible, because President Boakai is not going to have anything to do with it. He's going to use the same technique on his boss, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, to bring a palaver hot discussion around the scenario. We witnessed that during that time, and they will delay court processes until the issue of the establishment of that War Crimes Code will not be possible.
Okay, lastly, what is that one thing you've heard about the Boakai administration that make you feel excited, and why are you excited about that one thing?
Okay, so so far, Boakai regime took on to a very peaceful government or peaceful country under the past regime. So what we expect to see is that they should continue on the same path rather than twisting arms. We witnessed recently, yesterday, there were massive flocking of students at the state-run university where students just went out to inform the public of the closure of their school. So President Boakai, with his 40 plus years of experience, I expect those experience be used for the rightful purpose for which he came to serve the state.
Okay. Thank you so much. Your name, Comrade?
I'm Comrade Dami Morris.
Dami Morris, it was a pleasure having you on our network.
Thank you.
Thank you very kindly. We're still here at Focus. We're still here at Kukatono Intellectual Center. Kukatono means we are one. And the motto here at this Intellectual Center is facts and not rumor. We've come again, folks, to solicit the views of Liberians about the... My name is Tia Williams, another comrade is just right before our camera. Good evening, how are you? Thanks for joining us. What is the name, sir?
Oh, my name is Abaske Command First, the left-wing radical tactical political activist.
All right, I'm sure you've been following the issues in the country. President Boakai and his administration, a month and some days now. What is your own assessment about the government? What do you think?
Our present government has been headed by President Joseph Boakai. The first issue I want to discuss here is about the appointments that have been made by President Boakai.
Okay.
At this time, for the Ministry of Justice to not have a minister at this time, for the country to not have a Solicitor General at this time, is an affront when it comes to the rule of law. So, who do the government send to court? Because as a Solicitor General, you take direct instruction from the Attorney General as to issues pertaining court. So who do we send to court when there are major issues? And up to now, we're not even hearing the nomination of Solicitor General. And we are still waiting for the confirmation of the Minister of Justice. In fact, the Minister of Justice should be one of the ministries among 5 ministries to nominate 8 minister. So, but now the Minister of Justice should be having a minister. But up to now, the Minister of Justice is dormant. There is no boy president who has the Minister of Justice, which of course is not good for this government. It's not a good footing for this government. So, based on that, the government, the rescue mission is not starting on a good footing.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to the issue of the law. And secondly, when it comes to the economy and the work crime code, I see it to be very difficult in our country.
You don't see that happening under the Boakai administration?
I don't see that happening.
Why?
Let's go back to the 1986 Constitution or the People Redemption Council. When we discussed the 1986 Constitution, the People Redemption Council, there were a lot of people who committed a lot of atrocities in our country. But it is embedded within the Constitution that all of these guys who committed these crimes should be set free. The Ghana Peace Accord also, that we have in Ghana, there was also an agreement that because the Black of Prince Johnson and others who fought war, they also said, but there were other people who fought war before us. The 1990 war, there were other people who fought war before us, and then there is a need, those people with impunity. How can we agree today? So the Ghana Peace Accord also, there was a document signed that these people, the lack of pre-trust, should also go scot-free. As long the orders, the constitution is protecting the people with Retention Council, there should also be a document signed upon that will protect them too. So the issue of the World Crime Court and Economic Crime Court has to do with the review of the law.
Okay.
That has to be done by the legislature.
So has the government met any of your expectations? And do you think there will be no business as usual, as President Boakai promised?
Pardon me?
I'm asking whether the government has met any of your expectations. And do you think there will be no business as usual as promised by President Boakai?
The government have met one of my expectations.
Okay, what is it?
That has to do with the issue of jobs.
Jobs.
Yes.
Okay.
President Boakai promised to limit the issue of jobs in our country. And I must commend to the director of the DEA that has to do with Ibrahim Command. We saw on video the past 2 days, there were a lot of drugs taken away with money.
Okay.
There were a lot of people who were arrested. But we look forward to see these people going to court. And of recent time in rural communities, we are seeing DA officers in rural communities chasing young people out of the community because of kush.
Okay.
So that met my expectation.
Okay. Before I take leave of you, finally, the Boakai administration promised to fight corruption and audit the We administration. Do you think President Boakai and the Unity Party will deliver on these promises?
I don't think so.
Why you don't think so?
The reason is just simple. To have an audit, it should be within 10 years. So there will be a lot of people within any past government that will also be audited along with George we are on the government.
Okay.
And I don't think Boakai will want to audit his own people. So I don't see the possibility.
Okay.
I don't see the possibility.
Thank you so much. What is the name again, sir?
I'm Abaske Kamari First, the left wing radical tactical political activist.
Thank you. Thank you so much for providing your thoughts on issues of concern. It was a pleasure having you on. So again, we have another gentleman who is just right before our camera. Good evening. Tell us the name.
Good evening. My name is Peter K. Flomo.
Mr. Flomo, welcome to Focus on Liberia Online Television. Good to see you here today.
Thank you.
Let me begin with you. Has this government met any of the... Okay, let's go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So in fact,
I was asking whether the Boakai administration has met any of your expectations.
not at all.
Why?